continue on a reflection, Lyle 2002, sport coaching concepts. He talks a lot about effective communication. And they break it down into different types of communication, such as verbal, non-verbal, and everything. But the session that I ran with completely sort of non-verbal communication, it isn't really sort of like discussed anywhere. It talks about sort of like delayed feedback and allowing people to think for themselves. And I've read that also, as I said, in Martin's as well. And for me, it's sort of very difficult as a coach to sit back and, as I say, upon reflection, it was a real positive experience, and thinking about how to utilize that moving forwards. Obviously, I think it'll work for a certain amount of time where they'll be able to work things out. I mean, these are junior athletes that I work with, so they are top end national level for their age groups for 13 to 14 years old. So they're still discovering quite a lot themselves, but might not have all of the answers. But if they can discover through sort of making mistakes and sort of me giving the gestures of say yes or maybe think a little bit more, it was really quite powerful. And it was also, I'm talking about myself reflecting right now, it's making them reflect on what was happening both in the moment. They've all started now taking videos, sort of like and monitoring them in terms of looking at their progressions, and sort of in the last 5 weeks, the progressions are absolutely enormous. We had a competition last week, and the results for 2 of the girls had gone up by 2.5 whole marks. Alone, and that was by really sort of like understanding what they were actually doing. 2.5 marks in trampoline is absolutely huge. So again, sort of like for them reflecting and then thinking about what they're doing and enabling them to do that, enable them to be sort of like self-developmental as well as sort of self-improve. And did I do anything? You could possibly think no, and if parents are watching me, they might be thinking, actually, what are we paying for here? But what I did was facilitate an environment that actually was just sort of just very, very sort of motivational, and in terms of like the type of motivation, definitely intrinsic motivation, and we all know that intrinsic motivation is absolutely key, such as Alice Cashmore states that without intrinsic motivation, athletes will struggle to succeed, and that's absolutely true, and I really believe that.